Hi, today I want to show you how to fix a mistake that's several rows back in your double knitting pattern. This is my first real attempt at double knitting, and so you can imagine I've made a lot of mistakes. I have found mistakes a few rows back and gone to fix them, and I reknit it and I keep going and boom, there's another mistake. So when I discovered that practically this entire quadrant of my work was mistakes, I had a choice. I could either frog over half of what I've done so far, or I could figure out how to fix it. Now, I did go back and look on YouTube, and because I didn't see anything that would help me figure out what I wanted to do, I decided I would videotape it and put it up myself. So this is what I've done. Now, if you look at this white line right here, this bisects the pattern, and this should be a mirror image of this, with the exception of this one little stitch here where I didn't carry my thread across the needle properly. This is perfectly done. I don't know what I did, but somewhere over here I just started screwing up. So, and it was consistently on this side, which is interesting because I'm reading the pattern right to left and then left to right. So, I'm going to have to work on that. But in the meantime, I did perfect how to fix the pattern because all of this area here was messed up too. And I have, for the most part, with the exception of this one, fixed it. So these two pins right here mark the stitches that I'm working on right now. This blue one is correct. This white one is not. It should be blue. So in order to do this, the first thing you need to do is take your work off of the needles and put it onto these stitch holders. Now, since this side is perfect, I've got one stitch holder that's holding all of these, and I won't be messing with that. Since this is the side that has the problems, what I did was I identified the column of stitches that has the stitch that needs to be corrected. Whoops. That is this one right here. Okay, so this column. So all the stitches to the left are on one stitch holder, and all the stitches to the right are on another stitch holder. And the two stitches that I need to work with are on another of these little safety pin stitch markers. Now there are two stitches because you're working with double knit. So if you've made a mistake on this side, then that same mistake is going to show on the other side. So you need to fix it in both. And the two are joined. This row of knitting with the other side, it's companion row of knitting. They're joined. So you need to do both at the same time. However, if you were to drop both this column and its corresponding column in the back, you would have a lot of resulting ladders, just these threads connecting the row to the right and the row to the left, and it's going to be really hard to figure out which row you need to put knit back or crochet back up. I think the term I've heard uses ladder back up. So what we need to do now that we have the two stitches isolated is take the stitch marker off and put it back only on the loop in the back. Okay, that leaves the front one. And then what you need to do is take all those stitches, just drop the stitches down. And this wool has been worked a couple of times as I've tried to work out this pattern, and it's really grabby. So it's a little difficult to do that, but get all these stitches. Now this white one right here, this is the one that needs to be fixed. That needs to be blue. Okay, this is now our live stitch. This is the right one that we need to be working on. I don't know if you can see. It's a blue one. And I check everything and I match it up, and I've looked at this pattern a number of times. This one right here, it should be 4 blue stitches, and I've got 2 blue, a white, and a blue. That's wrong. So what I'm going to do is put a pin on this blue active stitch, all right, so that we don't lose it because we don't want to drop any more. I'm going to take another one of these markers and I'm going to ignore the white one because that one's supposed to be blue and catch up the rest of the stitches like that. Okay? And then you just flip the work over to the other side, and I'm going to make this a part 2.